Welcome to Transformative Principal, where I help you stop putting out fires and start leading. I'm your host, Jethro Jones. You can follow me on Twitter at Jethro Jones. Welcome to Transformative Principal. I am very excited to have Benny. I didn't even ask you how to say your last name, but I'm not even going to use your last name because I don't when it's students. This is one of my favorite things about the podcast is when I can have a student on the show and talk about their learning experience because it is so stinking powerful. So Benny is a 16-year-old sophomore who's at Alpha School, which is something that I have talked about before, and they're doing really cool stuff. And he likes playing video games, playing instruments, and debating a variety of topics. He's been in Austin his whole life and been at Alpha for 3 years. And at Alpha, students complete an Alpha X project, which is an individual project based on their passions. When he was in middle school during his first year at Alpha High, Benny's project was based on music therapy. However, as he progressed through high school, he began to change his project to a YouTube channel that explains how video games are educational. And this change was inspired by the first thing he does when he gets home from school, which is naturally playing video games. So, Benny, welcome to Transformative Principal. Great to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. So, first, let's talk about what Alpha School is for people who don't know, and tell us about what it is and what your experience there is.
So Alpha School is a private school. It's located in a variety of places. And Alpha School is a school where it's mostly AI based, but you spend 3 to 2 hours in the day learning about academics, and then the rest of your time is spent on things like workshops, which help you build your real world life skills that will help you grow as a person, and an Alpha X project, which is where students find their passions and turn that into a business that they believe can be successful.
And I'm getting a little bit of plosives from you. So if you just move your microphone on your headset up so it's more aligned with your nose than with your mouth, that should be good. All right. How's that sounding?
Good. I think that's good.
Say,
Yeah.
okay, very good. When you get excited, then your voice comes up quite a bit more. So I'm excited about that. Don't worry, we'll cut that part out.
Okay.
So, so, why first, why did your parents send you to Alpha School? What was their idea there? Why did you want to stay going there?
My parents sent me to Alpha School because I've been homeschooled my whole life, and they saw a school that had like a lot of life skills and AI based learning. And my parents aren't like huge on academics. They believe that like that's one of the least important things that schools teach. And they put me in Alpha School because they saw that I could learn new passions and learn life skills that I struggled with before.
Awesome. Very good. And so tell me about other Alpha X projects and something that you've seen somebody else do.
So there's a lot of other Alpha X projects. I think the best ones that have been like the most well developed are from the seniors, because they have projects like building a safe teen dating app and building a therapy stuffed animal that listens to you. And I think those projects are really incredible because they show how people have like found a passion and a drive that they need to deal with and used it to create a business that's like being extremely successful.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool too. When I was a principal, one of the things that I focused on was giving kids opportunities to do these kinds of projects. And what I saw from the kids doing these kind of projects was that
Oh, you've
the things
you
they
froze.
learned were
Sorry.
so much more than that's all right. So what I learned is that the things that the kids learned through doing these projects were so much more than they could have learned if we would have taught them those things directly. Are you seeing anything like that? What does that look like for you?
I think that, like, not only does, like, building a project help them become, like, a better or find a good business strategy for that they could do for their entire life, but I also think that it's, a good way to help them grow in their public speaking skills because they have to talk about their project and present it. We have a lot of people who go to Capital Factory just to present to a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's very cool. So public speaking is one of those things, but there are so many other things as well. Like you're doing stuff around a YouTube channel and you're learning how to create content that gets attention and gets people to watch it, how to market yourself, how to write effectively. Like you wrote to me and said, I want to come on your podcast. And like you've got to figure those things out. And you maybe use some AI tools to help with that, maybe not. Did you use AI to help you find podcasts or write emails to hosts to get on their shows?
We were told to. I didn't really want to though, cause it kind of just felt automated. So, I changed up a little bit, but, in terms of my actual project, I'm not gonna use AI as much because people, especially on, like, social media and YouTube, don't enjoy when people use AI in their content.
Yep. Yeah, that's very true. I get a lot of pitches for people to come on my show because I've been doing it for 13 years. And so there's a lot of people who email me and your email stood out mostly because it looked genuine and it looked like you were a real person writing me instead of trying to like cleverly tie in somebody else that I recently interviewed, which, because I get so many, I can see those very quickly and they just go in the junk because that person obviously didn't put in the time and effort to do that. So these are other skills that you're learning as well of how to relate to people, how to reach out to them and get action from them when you're trying to get something from them. And I think that's really valuable. So tell me, what is the name of your YouTube channel?
I haven't actually uploaded any, videos
Oh,
yet.
interesting.
I've been, like, hard researching on how to perfect, like, an entire roster of videos. I've currently, like,
Ah.
started editing my first video. I'm almost done with it. It'll probably be out in December.
Okay. All right. And this podcast is not going to come out until January. So you will
Yes.
have it will be out. Your video will hopefully be up. So do you have the YouTube channel already or are you still building it?
I haven't I'm still building it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it can I give you a little feedback? Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. The first thing, this is what I tell everybody who, because I help people start podcasts also. In the beginning, nobody's going to see your early stuff.
Yeah.
And so the thing that is the best source of feedback for you is actually putting stuff out there. And if you
Got it.
don't put something out there, then you don't know how well it performs. So, my challenge to you, Benny, would be to upload something by the end of this week.
Got it.
And don't worry about it being perfect. And you don't have to take my advice, it's fine. But get something out there so that you see how it performs and you can share it with people and they can give you feedback about it. And that is going to be your best way to move forward and grow. So let me ask
Got it.
you a question. Have you ever done ceramics or pottery or anything like that?
No.
Have you ever done any painting or drawing or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, how many paintings have you painted?
Like, not a lot, like 7?
All right. So, did you improve from the first one to the seventh one?
Yes.
Obviously, right? If you're doing something that you like painting or videos or whatever, you get better as you practice more often, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if you draw the same thing, you're going to draw it better. If you draw something different, you're going to learn different skills and different styles and all that. So, doing something and getting it done there's a real value to that. The same thing goes with creating videos and a YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. You can spend hours researching, but there is nothing as good as actually getting the thing out there and making it live for people to see. So so imagine that uh you spent a year and every day you researched how to make the best painting, and that was one path you took. And then say you took another path and you painted something every single day. Who do you think would be better, the better painter, the one who researched everything and did one masterpiece, or someone who created 365 pieces of artwork?
Someone who just did 365 pieces of work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not just like wishful thinking. That is very real. You can demonstrate that. So I would actually encourage you to, instead of uh, researching anymore, just start publishing stuff. And I would challenge you, Benny, to publish so much that it's kind of crazy. Like, get out a video every single day for an entire year and just see what happens.
Yeah,
And I say that, Benny, because I know somebody who did that, and he ended up getting millions of views on TikTok, and he had no idea what TikTok was before he started doing it. And he just every day put out a video, no matter what, whether it was good or bad. And then he started to see, because he had so much information, what was working and what was not. So how does that idea resonate with you, to just get something out by the end of the week? Is that scary?
I like that idea. That's good feedback. I thank you.
All right. So so what you're arguing for with your videos is that video games can teach you stuff. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so walk me through that. What do you why do you believe that, and how do you know that?
So, video games actually teach important things because, like, people are placed into situations where learning is put, like, into an active world, and thinking critically has a meaning. So, like, when you're playing a game, you're constantly being asked to solve problems, and um, these problems like matter towards how you progress, and you have to adjust them if they fail, and like consistently try them again. And this like cycle of experimentation, it helps like build problem solving skills and resilience, and it's good to like normalize failure, and because like schools, like, it's a bad thing if you fail in school, but if you fail in a game, you're like constantly learning and trying something new to like push that forward. I found a study like a couple of weeks ago that shows that people who are put into active worlds where they are into like active worlds where they can learn do 1.5 times better on tests than students who uh are put into like traditional learning situations. And this is beneficial in things like math and science games, but I think that this can also be used for like proper life skill teaching. Um, I think that some games like require communication, such as Fortnite or Rocket League, or any team-based game can like teach you how to talk with people and work together with one another and stay calm when like things get stressful. And like you'll quickly learn how to give instructions to others while like supporting your teammates, and these skills are like used in everyday situations like in
Yeah, they definitely are. So, you talked about life skills a little bit, and that's a area that I'm really interested in, because, so I call those life skills organic skills, and I call the academic skills mechanistic skills. So life skills are organic because they grow over time, and they can be different depending on the needs that you have and depending on the circumstances you're in. You may need a skill more than at other times, and that kind of thing. And then the mechanistic skills are, we have a right answer and we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4, for example. We know that the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so we can deal with and handle that, all that kind of stuff. that's all mechanistic and it's very clear what the outcome is. But the organic skills, the life skills, that's not quite as clear and it's a little bit more difficult to measure. What other skills do they teach and how do they teach that instead of, because they're not saying here's a life skill and here's how you actually do it. You're learning through experimenting and the experience of it.
Yeah, so like I'd like to categorize them into like different skills and categories in what games teach what skills. Like for logic games, I think Portal 1 and 2 are great because they teach logic and experimenting with things over and over again. And more obscure puzzle games like the Professor Layton franchise, they include puzzles that really get your brain to to think because they get harder and harder as you go, and it puts a story in there that makes it more engaging to want to continue solving those puzzles. Um, I think there's I forgot what I was gonna say there. Sorry.
That's okay, all good. So what when you come up to a point of failure in a video game, what makes you give up and walk away instead of persevering and sticking through it?
In video games, people usually it usually takes longer for them to like give up on a thing than it would in real life because people like feel motivated to get to like a task in a video game or complete some side quest, but like this benefits the player for completing the side quest because they get something from it. And like I think this could be put into real world situations because they'll learn how to constantly try and try again.
The 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 uh the consequences for failure in real life seem much heavier than the consequences for failure in a video game. So
Yes.
it's important to develop that skill of having resilience and stuff, but it's not quite the same because if you die, you just start over and you know you can get back to that point. Or if you can't figure out the puzzle, you can just restart it and start fresh and try again. So how does that translate though to the real world where, you run into an obstacle and you can't overcome it?
So let's say you're like stuck on a let's say you're stuck on a math problem. You can either like continue trying to find a solution to that math problem or you can just give up. And the benefit of continuing is like the satisfaction of knowing that you did a good job because you continued trying. And the this ties like directly to video games, or not directly to video games, but this ties into video games because if you feel like you achieve something, if you feel like you're going to achieve something from doing it properly or professionally, then you're gonna feel more rewarded. If that answers your question.
Yeah, so if you what you're talking about then is the benefit of video games is that they uh, give you opportunities for some sort of reward for the efforts that you're putting into it.
Yes.
And sometimes those are intrinsic, which is I feel good about accomplishing something, and sometimes those are extrinsic, like solving the puzzle or getting first place or whatever the case may be, or being the last man standing. And so those things are real, but the challenge is when you're doing a math problem and you just can't get it, you feel dumb, you feel like you can't ever figure it out, and those are tough things to overcome, especially if you don't figure it out. And there's a hard there's a hard lesson to learn there about how to overcome that. And so what advice would you give to somebody if they're struggling with that and they just want to give up and think they're dumb and can't do math, for example?
They should continue trying. Because if they don't think that they can do math, they should at least try like a little harder to go into the tools and resources they have to solve that problem. Because there's like multiple sources online that they can use to find formulas and solutions to the problem. So they should just continue trying, but with like added on knowledge over time.
Yeah. Yep. So what are some of the things that in your Alpha X project the Alpha School is doing to help you be successful with it? What resources or supports or what things are there to help you keep going when things are tough?
We're given a lot of AI tools and guide. Our guides are like essentially teachers, but they're not exactly teachers. They're more of like support, emotional and moral supports. And we also have a thing called things called motivational models, and these are like motivating a student for doing a certain amount of task or achievement. Like if I said, "Hey, can I have a motivational model of having whatever new headphones I want?" I could say, "Hey, can I have a some new headphones if I achieve this goal, like uploading my video within the next few weeks."
Yeah. Yeah, not the next few weeks, Benny. The end of
Next week,
this
this
week.
week, this week.
Yeah. So like you got 4 days, man. I'm
Yeah,
serious because you don't need any other outside motivation to do that except that you're going to get much better the more videos you upload.
yeah,
And if you want to create a YouTube channel that actually explains how video games are educational and makes an impact with anybody, then nobody's going to be able to watch it if you don't upload something, right?
yes,
So so you got to get out there and start doing it. And your first one is really going to suck. And
yeah,
you have to be okay with that because no matter how hard you work on it, your 10th video is going to be better than your first video.
100%.
Yeah. So like you just got to get out there and do it. And I believe in you, man. And once you do get out there,
Thank you.
I'll share it and I'll let people know, and they're going to say this sucks at first, and then later you're going to get better, and you can always go delete whatever stuff you put up and redo it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what videos are you what's the framework, and how do you want to create the videos, and what do you want the videos to be about and stuff like that?
So I'm gonna create long commentary videos, which are just like videos explaining how certain things work. And like I'm gonna go like topic at a time. My first video is gonna be how Minecraft raised us better than our schools. And
Right.
and I'm just gonna go in depth on certain topics for each video.
Okay. So I would say, is that your first video, how Minecraft raised us better than our
Yes.
schools? Awesome. Very provocative title. That's good. That'll get people interested. But how long are you expecting that to be?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
And then after I upload that, I'm gonna like upload shorts of the clips in the same video.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to do that. So that sounds really good. And how have you recorded that yet? Are you writing a script? What's your process for creating the videos?
I usually write my scripts first and then record the audio and then edit the video after I record the audio so I can put the the visuals over the audio.
Gotcha. And what are you using to edit the videos?
Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro. Okay, very good. Um, very cool. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how Minecraft raised us better than our schools this weekend. That's going to be really fun to watch on Monday.
Mm.
So, so how do you write the scripts? Do you use AI to help you, or do you write all yourself, or do you have friends that you write with, or
So at Alpha we have a thing called a brain lift, which is like essentially like a bigger Google Doc that stores all our research and information. And I add stuff to my brain lift every like 30 minutes in the morning. And with like the new knowledge that I gain, I write my scripts using the knowledge that I gained, and I try to
hey,
like
Benny?
write it in a convincing way. Yeah.
Could you start that over? I lost your audio for a sec. I just want to make sure I get your answer.
Okay. Can you ask the question again?
Yeah. So go ahead and go through your process of how you write the scripts and whether you're using AI and or friends or whatever.
So when I create my scripts, I look at something that Alpha has called a brain lift, which is essentially like a big Google Doc that stores all of the knowledge that we research. And I take what I learn from like the every 30 minutes in the morning that we use for our brain lift, and I use that to write our scripts or to write my scripts. I use that to write my scripts, and I try to write everything in a convincing way that's appeals to like a modern generation while still being listened to, while still being sorry, while
It's
still
okay.
being easy to listen to for older people.
Gotcha. Okay. So, so how much are you, as you go through this, you're creating this brain lift, and how much are you, using AI in the research or the writing?
I use AI for the research, like finding different websites and sources for me to find like good proper knowledge. And then I also use AI for experts, and like experts are the people who we look to for like new knowledge and information and the insights that they share.
So, who are some of the experts that you're looking at for this kind of stuff?
I have like around 30 excerpts, but one of my favorites is named Scott Novice. He uploads videos on YouTube and he shares like really good insights about how video games should be given to kids, and that parents should allow every kid to play games as long as they're monitored properly and they talk with their kid about like what they're playing. And another expert I follow is Facebook Success. He explains how to create content without showing your face and still being successful. I'd highly recommend checking them out, but um, every alpha student has around like 20 to 50 experts that allow them to find research and facts in their insights.
Fascinating. So, so tell me a little bit more about the Alpha School model, how it's academics with AI in the morning, and or rather what I heard Mackenzie Price say about that is that you probably shouldn't be using AI to help you in the morning, but you should be using it in the afternoon. And if you're not using it in the afternoon, you're probably not living up to your potential. And if you are using it in the morning, then you're probably using it to cheat, because those two areas are separated, right? So the morning is about the way the AI helps is that it tells you the areas where you need to work and the skills you need to focus on, and that's the extent of it, and then you're practicing and learning. And then the afternoon you should be using it to help you like figure out how to do research effectively and find things and stuff like that. And then go ahead and explain that in your own words and what your experience is.
So I like the way that alpha is structured a lot. I like how a majority of mine is spent towards our Alpha X projects, and the way that I think that the way we use AI in the morning, and or we use the way we use AI in the afternoon, and then we shouldn't be using AI in the morning is like a really powerful thing to say, because it shows that while you can be smart on your own, you should use the resources you have to increase your brain power. But when you need more facts and research, you should be using AI to help grow your brain and find facts that have already been shared.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really powerful way to look at it. And having that information at your fingertips is really good when you need it to accomplish a task. But if you're trying to learn something specific, you just need to do the actual work to learn it, because your brain doesn't learn it from looking it up. Your brain learns it from taking action with it, which goes back to what we were saying about the video games and the learning in video games being so much higher. The value and your ability to do good with your videos is going to be so much better when you are producing lots of videos all the time, much better than if you just try to do one great one every couple of weeks. But, 10 crappy ones over a week is much better for your learning than one great one over 2 weeks. Does that make sense, Benny?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this was awesome. I really appreciate your time and what you are doing and your desire to get out and share what you're doing with the world. Like I said, this is going to come out in January, and so when it comes out, how can people find your YouTube channel?
I think you could just put a link in the description.
Great. So I'll have a link at the show notes at transformativeprincipal.org. I encourage everybody to go check it out and give Benny feedback, because hopefully by the time you hear this, Benny has like 10 videos up on his YouTube channel, and I will have a link to it in the show notes so you can check it out. Benny, this was awesome. I wish you nothing but success.
That's awesome.
Thanks so much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.